Yeah, I will be. I'm taking out the. Yeah, I've taken a snapshot. Yes, we can now continue with the presentation again. Right. So going back to the presentation order. Next, I call upon after Vaishali, after I believe Pratibha is done, right? Bam, please share your screen. We can no. You can go ahead, Bam. I request you to share the screen.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, good evening. My presentation is about creating shared value, and usually in Indonesia, still developing like a developing country, there are a lot of the industrial, such as industrial for gas and mining, but the local community is like indigenous people. There is the title of this research is development of IKAT weaving and TANIMBARWOOD carving as competitiveness in the African application of creating that value. Because of the people, there's like indigenous people there, the habit is like for marine society and also living in the forest, like slash and band community. In yes, as usual, environmental impact analysis and corporate social responsibility usually did before the company built in the area, but it is a compulsory. The environmental impact analysis is AIE is mandatory for large companies that will operate in remote area that will change the landscape. Yeah, there is a lot of the forests would be cut by the industrial because they have to build something. In these cases, this is a build airport, build the port, and then also build the building for a big company. Social life for a community, especially with very different lives between industry and fishermen or marine society and farming. The farming is traditional farming and also depend on what they're doing about for the cotton. Yeah. Usually the result of environmental impact analysis will show various policy and how to overcome social problems that will arise if a series of industrial program activities are applied. There is from the perception, from the company perception, and also for the local community perception is very different. That is a lot of the social problem arise from the perception. The result of the environmental impact analysis describe the company's activities in building this industry and the estimate impact on the surrounding community. They didn't know about the life of the indigenous people, but the indigenous people that also they don't know about what the activity of this industrial. Then it is continued with the implementation of corporate social responsibility program to reduce social problem that is already emerged from the community, and also to detect social capital that exists in local community. It's very, very important because of the culture is very different. One is the industrial and the other is marine society. Not only marine society, but also there is a traditional marine society, and they have material for creating something. The social capital, we first start with the social mapping needs to be done in the local community. What is social mapping? Social mapping is something methodology for doing research, and then we have to know about the culture, like anthropologists, their culture in, we use the ethnography, mapping what are the mainstay for the community in their social cultural life, such as livelihood, and also cultural activities such as ritual and merit. Why ritual? Ritual is very, very important. It's not like the common religion, but also the ancient religion for the from the community. That is the merit system and other activities, something like handicraft and also uh, the textile made from that community. The activities existing large companies will certainly change landscape. Yes, because it's a big company. They need weight of the area, clean water source, farm, and the inclusion of different equipment from those experienced by local residents. In other words, it will change the landscape and in turn will also create social problem because they are worker and immigrant. Migrant come after the industrial build. Usually, the immigrant come from the urban area in the other area because of in this area, Tanimbar people, they're located in the eastern of Indonesia. There is still a lot of the indigenous people. There are social and cultural change between local community and immigrant people from other area and industrial itself. They have same of the lifestyle, industrial. And then the local people as the indigenous people is the traditional, is very, very traditional, is left behind people. And then if we use CSR, corporate social responsibility, the implementation of CSR certainly related to how to minimize and even minimize the social impact that arise and strive to improve people's lives, but solving emerging social problem is not that simple. Solving the problem, that's only solving the problem. Then the industrial doesn't know about the behavior, about the culture. That is very, very important. The applied CSR is also followed by how to increase opportunities in competitiveness in order to improve the community economic based on the cultural capabilities of the communities, because the culture is very important, but not only the culture, they have the idea, they have innovation about how to improve the economic by themselves. Creating shared value needs to be done not only to solve the social problem that will rise, but also competitive value if there are entrants competing in emerging service industry. Methodology I use in this paper, the research using rapid ethnography. If you use ethnography, need the time, it's a long time if you use ethnography, but the rapid ethnography is only in the economic, not ritual, not the kinship, not of the lot of the aspect of the culture. And analysis of social network as well as focus group discussion. Fortunately, all of the people in Indonesia can speak fluently about the Indonesian language, but in the leader of the local people also can speak Indonesian, but usually for the people who are living inside of the forest, they cannot speak Indonesian. The result of the analysis of the data obtained are the region of the function of the forest plan, which are the basis of people's lives. In this case, the planting of cotton trees. The cotton trees is primary for support to save the Tanimbar culture in the form of icon from the community, namely IKAT weaving. There is very, very iconic. IKAT weaving and wood carving craft and ebony belts made from wood as competitiveness of the community to achieve economic prosperity. Effort for competitiveness use the concept of creating shared value That is the creating shared value. If we use corporate social responsibility is only minimize the social problem because of the activity from the company. But if we use CSV, that is, we already know about the social capital and we know about the culture and we can increase, develop what we're doing about the community. The result, it is hoped that cultural mixing between immigrants, including the applied industry as well as outside communities, as migrant and local communities can occur properly and provide new knowledge for local communities because they're living as life behind to be able to compete with the good and service industry community because they already have icon like IKAT weaving and also with woodcraft, and then can be competitive with the immigrant society, exactly from the urban society. This is a kind of the IKAT weaving. Yeah, there is a good for trading to immigrant, and then we can, or if the designer from the city can use this weaving like the women dress. Yeah, it's like this one. This is very beautiful textile. From the textile, producing cotton. From the cotton, producing textile, and also create something for the other thing. That is the woodcraft from ebony, and also belt from ebony. There is for the men, and the other thing is in one. That is a woodcraft. Thank you very much.